Yeah. Get curious with Kamala Harris. Boy, am I curious. I'm curious about the border. NBC reporting that they knew that the Haitian migrants were coming in July and did nothing about it, it seems. So I'm curious, where were you, Kamala? I thought you were doing the root causes. You know, I'm curious, Kamala, you were the last person in the room with Joe Biden ahead of the devastating Afghanistan withdrawal. Where were you? And now you've gone MIA. I mean, Harris, over the weekend, you know, and I don't mean Vice President Harris, I mean Harris Faulkner, you know that she fled to Palm Springs for, quote, a private family matter. I want to know why you're vacationing as the world crumbles and you hire Psaki's brother-in-law to do, quote, long-term PR. That is code for I want to be the next president, so I'm going to hide away as this presidency crumbles.
That was Fox News contributor Kayleigh McEnany there, slamming VP Kamala Harris on Outnumbered, wondering where she is while the presidency crumbles. We know that the Vice President was tasked with figuring out how to tackle the border crisis. Since the Biden administration took office in January and reversed Donald Trump's strict border policies, there has been a surge in migrants trying to cross the border. Ms Harris has been criticised for her approach, as she has only visited the southern border once when she went to El Paso in June. However, her boss, Joe Biden, has never made it there. Kayleigh McEnany torched the VP for heading to Palm Springs on Friday night for a private family event while the crisis is unfolding. Over the last month, the situation worsened when an estimated 15,000, mostly Haitian migrants, crossed the river between Mexico and Texas and camped out under the international bridge in Del Rio. It created a humanitarian crisis, with many migrants running out of food and water, with reports some women even gave birth there. There are also concerns over the number of criminal illegal migrants. According to the New York Post, during their financial year of 2019, there were over 4,200 criminals arrested. In 2020, it was over 2,400, and this year it's been over 9,200. On Wednesday, several House and Senate Republicans demanded the Biden administration acknowledge the situation at the southern border is out of control. Texas Senator Ted Cruz has visited the southern border multiple times and believes the crisis needs to be taken seriously. He claims it is now a humanitarian catastrophe and said the Biden administration made 3 decisions that led to the disaster.
And the cause of all of this is simple. It is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris who refuse to enforce the law. Those are decisions they made literally the first day in office. 3 decisions drove this crisis: immediately halting construction of the border wall, that happened on day 1. Reinstituting the failed policy of catch and release, that also happened on day 1. And most indefensibly, ending the incredibly successful Remain in Mexico international agreement. Remain in Mexico last year produced the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. This year, because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to enforce the law, have continued to be utterly lawless, we are seeing the highest rate of illegal immigration in 21 years. This is a human catastrophe and disaster. Texas is paying the price. The last couple of weeks, I did roundtables with farmers and ranchers in South Texas who described the chaos of finding dead bodies on their ranch land day after day after day, who described moms in South Texas who described that they wouldn't let their teenage children go outside unless they carried a loaded firearm, because there's so many human traffickers and narcotics traffickers crossing across their properties. This is a humanitarian crisis, it's a public health crisis, it's a national security crisis, and right now Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refuse to do a damn thing about it. Joe Biden won't even go to the southern border. And Kamala Harris refuses to go to the Rio Grande Valley, the epicenter of this tragedy. This tragedy needs to end, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris need to follow the law.